Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and tonight we're on the red carpet for another fabulous HBO documentary, Larry Kramer in Love and Anger. We'll be bringing you interviews with the famed activist himself, as well as Mark Ruffalo, who depicted him in The Normal Heart, and more, so get ready for a great night behind the velvet rope. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. What an absolute honor to meet you, Larry Kramer. I remember watching The Normal Heart last year, and that movie awakened a whole new generation to the incredible work that you did. I was just talking to Mark Ruffalo, who played you. Talk to me about this movie, Larry Kramer in Love and Anger, and telling your story through HBO's eyes.
It's a very heavy experience. I'm not dead yet, so I wasn't expecting anything like this so early. I still got work to do. AIDS is far from over. It's worse than ever. No one is reporting that it's worse than ever. No one is reporting that the government is still woefully behind on research toward a cure. You don't read that in the newspapers. So there's plenty of fighting still to do.
When that movie came out last year, I feel like it totally awakened a new generation.
The movie did exceedingly well for HBO, which was wonderful. So many people. I think the first night was like 15 million people. That's amazing. So,
did it blow you away to see that response? Not only the people that watched, but the people that were reawakened to the work that needs to be done with AIDS, with LGBT rights?
Well, you know, people are awakened, but that's only part of it. They got to go out and follow that awakening with actually, getting to work and doing something about it. And unfortunately, the gay population has been dumped on for so many centuries that it's not very good at fighting for itself in a united fashion, so it's hard.
When you look at where you started, obviously with The Normal Heart, we see much of the starting point to where we are now. What is the progress you see and what needs to be done moving forward?
We have to be activists every day of our lives to get what we deserve, and we're not. So how do we unite ourselves as the people? I'm talking about gay people and lesbians, and etc.
Larry Kramer in Love and Anger premiere on HBO on June.
And as I say, we're not very good at that. So it takes longer.
Mark Ruffalo, first of all, you're here supporting a pretty extraordinary guy, Larry Kramer, who you had the opportunity of depicting in The Normal Heart. Talk to me about the inspiration and the work that man accomplished. It's incredible.
Well, he believed that the gay culture deserved to be recognized in a kind of a civil rights, human rights sort of way when no one was thinking anything near that. And believed that the only way to really do that was to come out openly and to not live or hide in shame or not surrender until they could live completely freely and openly at a time when a lot of people were just happy to stay in the closet and live kind of on the margins of American living. And he came out and he said, we're more than who we're having sex with. We have an incredibly important culture that has an enormous amount to add to the fabric of the American culture, and we're no longer going to live in the shadows.
As an actor, when you get to play a part like this, because I remember through all the awards circuit, you really expressed how much this part meant to you and telling the story meant to you. Talk to me as an actor, what it meant to you being able to express the story and the influence that was created through The Normal Heart.
It'll be one of the great moments of my career, and it was incredibly moving to me. You know, we forget what it cost people who went through the crisis of AIDS, and we also forget what it cost Larry and how hard he had to fight, and to be able to just tap only scratch the surface of that as an actor was exhilarating and incredibly challenging, and getting to know Larry, honestly, has been one of the great gifts for me.
Talk to me about that relationship, because I know you guys had a closeness while you were making it.
Yeah. You know, I'm an activist myself, and Larry taught me that activism is not a dirty word, and it's not it's something that you do as an act of love, and he taught me an enormous amount about love, and how that acts in the world, and how you use that to change the world in a positive way. His courage and his conviction and his passion for what he believed in is like no one else I've ever met. And the fact that he remains a stalwart fighter for fighting AIDS, but also his voice in the gay community, but also just as a friend. You know, someone that you know is never going to pull a punch with you, who's always going to be honest with you, who's incredibly gifted intellectually, has enriched my life in a really significant way. As an actor, as an artist, and as a man, and then as an activist myself.
Giancarlo Musto. So you made this movie about this kind of okay guy, this one and only Larry Kramer. Talk to me about telling Larry's story, because in terms of influence and what he's done, pretty cool stuff.
Yes, Larry has had an amazing impact, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do a documentary about him, because I thought, you know, it's crazy. Somebody's going to wait until, God forbid, after he's gone, and they'll make him into a saint. Larry Kramer is not a saint. He's a very complex man. And even he himself, within the structure of the normal heart, showed himself warts and all. And I think that, to me, is the sign or the benchmark of a true hero. Are they willing to be human? And Larry is always willing to be human. And I could say, as someone who was part of the movement, what Larry gave us was he always gave us a sense of self-confidence that we were worth fighting for, we were worth preserving. And you may not really see it in context, but back in the 1970s and 80s, there were major political forces really fighting against any kind of visibility of LGBT people. So, you know, Larry was like this person who came out of an important background. He had a whole movie history. He'd been nominated for an Academy Award. And here's this guy who had all this cachet telling us, you know, you are important. You can make change. Fight back. Don't settle. And the import of that was monumental. It changed, not only did it change the world, but it changed us.
Joe Mantello, you got to be a part of the project that reawakened everybody to the work Larry Kramer did, obviously The Normal Heart. Talk to me about being here to support In Love and Anger and telling his story through a documentary. It's so cool.
It's amazing. I mean, I've seen the film twice now. Tonight will be my third time. It's extraordinary because it kind of captures the complicated, extraordinary person that is Larry Kramer, and it's an essential document of this man and that time.
What's fascinating is people don't realize the work that he did. Obviously, the AIDS epidemic, although still an epidemic.
Not everyone recognizes.
Not everyone,
yeah.
but especially the new millennial generation.
That's true.
Talk to me about the legacy of Larry Kramer. Obviously, he's still alive, but the legacy that he's building.
It was amazing because I was also in the Broadway revival a few years ago, and we had all of these young people come to see the play, and they experienced the play as if it was science fiction. They really did. It was kind of extraordinary, and you know, and they sort of, and Larry would wait after the show and pass out pamphlets as Larry does. And it was like seeing a unicorn for these people. They couldn't believe that he actually existed, that he did the things that were captured in the play and the film. And it was just, you could see their minds just being exploded, blown wide open, because it was just, they've reaped the benefits of so much of what Larry has done.